What was your award-winning project, and what support and opportunities did the Consensus Awards provide that contributed to your success?
This comes on the back of 15 years of hard work. And in reality, I probably took on something I didn't realise what I was taking on at the time. But basically now, the short story is globally, we face a combined problem for everybody, and that is that the ocean, which is the major source of oxygen, is dying. It produces between 55 and 85% of the oxygen on Earth, which also supports the ocean. And today, over 30% of the ocean is dead, not producing oxygen, not producing food. Only 50% of the ocean is producing krill, which is the second step in the marine food chain. The ocean is also a 26% carbon sink normally, but now with 30% of the ocean dead, we are in trouble, and it's playing into climate change effects. So what are the causes? A lot of people talk about the ocean, and a lot of people talk about the contamination that we're pumping into it, but nobody's actually looking at what is actually killing the ocean. We talk about there's a mass bleaching event. We talk about a little bit about agricultural runoff, but the core three reasons that the ocean is dying is every stormwater drain that's ever been installed around the world is open to the elements, which is discharging into our urban water environments and ocean. All agricultural runoff, which is sediment, soil loss from farming, we've now lost 80% around the world. And the biggest shock for me is that still to this day, 80% of wastewater is pumped into the ocean without treatment. And that's got to stop. We can't keep doing this. So one of the bad side effects of that is estrogen from women is now turning global fish stocks female. So that's just another one of the little problems that we've got, or big problems that we've got. In the last 40 years, plastics has become an issue, and now we're really starting to understand the impacts of it. But unless we address the core three reasons, as well as the plastic, we're not going to save ourselves, in my opinion. So to clarify why we haven't been able to address any of these issues, it's actually been capacity to filter huge volumes of water down to fine particle size capture. We have what's called traditional filtration on this side, which is screen filtration, basically a form of screen filtration, but very low flow. And then we have large screen filtration, which are 5 millimetre to 10 millimetre openings, which they use in wastewater and a number of other applications. But that does not address water quality. So in between these two, there's this big hole, and that hole is the reason every stormwater drain's open to the elements, the reason that all agriculture, the reason that wastewater is pumped the way it is into the ocean, tailings dams, the reason that industry around the world pays fees to water management companies like Water Corp in Perth. They pay to put their toxicity, their toxic chemicals and sediments into the sewer system, which are then, in most cases, just pumped straight into the ocean. So that's the problem that we've got, and it's all about rainfall. So we wouldn't be having these problems if we didn't have rainfall, but we do. It's our only natural free source of water. And what we've embarked on is to bridge the gap between the screen and the traditional filtration. To do that, we've developed a geotextile that, has been proven to process just over 3,000 litres per minute, capturing particulates to 63 micron, which is about an eighth the size of a grain of sand. Now, that technology has been proven with a PhD at Curtin University, which won the Chancellor's Award for Science and Engineering, with Curtin a top 1% global university, and CSIRO and ChemCenter, which is NATA, doing all the rest of our testing. So we've gone to the highest level of testing for the simple reason. During my journey, I've found a lot of products out there that are making very substantial claims in water quality, but when you look into them, it's not the case. This is one of the things that's been going against us, is councils and government are very reactive to a problem. Rather than look at the long-term solution, they just want to fix it so people don't complain. And that is what's now got us into the point where our waterways in urban environment particularly are so toxic that they're now supporting cyanobacteria. And cyanobacteria is now considered triggers for dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and motor neuron disease in humans. So the fact is our environment is now coming back and killing us. So how we fix this is we've invented the filtration media. Then what we did was we came up with smart design to put a drop-in lift-out device that fits into any drain, collects 95% of the waste, filters the water to 63 micron. Now that means that the receiving water environment can actually process the 5% that we don't get, whereas now it can't. There's just too much waste, too many drains. So scale, just to give you an idea of scale, there's about 20 million drains in Australia, of which 1.5 million or so are connected to water environments in the ocean, which is our market. The US, about 270 million drains, of which about 50 are connected to water environments. Europe's about 450 million. So we're coming up to about 1 billion drains. And all of them are full of rubbish and vegetation. And this is why we're in the position we are. So for me, it's been a long journey to get to where we are. We now have some global companies that we work with, or where we're starting to work with. And so where this whole Consensus Australia or Consensus Awards came in was a big shock for us. So we were asked about our innovation, and then we submitted an application. That application was successful. Jolly has been an amazing person to work with, as have the panel. So when you go into Consensus Awards, it's not just an awards thing. It's actually all of the help that you get afterwards. So there's mentors. There's even they will put you in touch with investors. You know, these are the sorts of things that you don't normally get when you present your products in any sort of forum. What also was also quite exciting for me as a business owner was that Consensus Awards are considered the world's most successful innovation hub, with 90% of winners going on to be global companies, which everybody in my position wants to hear, obviously. But the evidence is in the past winners. So Atlassian is a past winner. Hypersonics, which does the centrifugal launching of satellites into space, they've also won. So what it's done is it's actually put me into quite an exclusive club, and that is priceless for someone in our position where we've spent 15 years getting everything ready, and now we're ready to scale up and move this technology around the country and around the world. So can't say enough for Consensus Awards, for Jolly. If you guys are out there and girls are out there and you've got some innovation, even if it's at the beginning stage, talk to Julian, because what he'll do is he'll help guide you where you need to go. He's been doing this a long time, so he's got a lot of experience, and that sort of experience is hard to get when you're innovating. So to have people you can trust, that's a big thing. So I thank Jolly and the team very much for that, and it's been a stepping stone to getting us to where we are now.
Any advice or well wishes you would like to extend to this year's contestants?
All right. Well, probably the most important thing that I've learned out of this journey is don't give up. One of the things you'll find as a innovator is there's a lot of people that are going to talk you down. There's a lot of people that are going to say, no, it can't be done. It's too big. Who are you? You're nobody. You can't do it. And you just have to say, no, I can do it. And if you believe in yourself enough and you don't give up, you will get there. But at the same time, it's good to have some people who understand what you're going through that you can bounce stuff off. And that's where the team comes in. I suggest all of you speak to Julian directly, and he will help, and he'll go out of his way to help. And if he doesn't know something, then he'll put you in touch with people that do. And look, honestly, that's just priceless. And it was fully unexpected for me, but it's opened a lot of doors, and that's important as you move forward and as a business grows. So yeah, no, very, very happy with the whole experience.